Hi there, I'm Eric Colette from A Mind for All Seasons, and I'm joined here today by Jenn, who has been participating in a concussion protocol here and has had some pretty exciting results. So Jenn, tell us a little bit about what brought you here to A Mind for All Seasons in the first place.
Okay, so this past year and a half has been a little bit rough for me. I've had 3 diagnosed concussions from ER visits, and the last one happened about 3 weeks ago. I was mountain biking. I had a pretty bad wreck, and it was a concussion that I was knocked out for about 15 minutes, and don't remember anything about the wreck. I don't, and as I've since in the past 3.5 weeks realized that I have lost, there was a lot of memory, short-term memory that I had lost from the weeks leading up to it, and even in that week and a half, 2 weeks afterward. And I sit here right now just in awe with where I'm at, because 3 weeks ago was my wreck, and my whole face was completely swollen, and then of course black and blue and every other color in between, and there's still a little bit remaining, but that was all swollen and scraped up, and I had so I broke my scapula, which is a hard bone to break, and
it's not real common, is it?
No, it takes a pretty intense high hit to break. So to try to gauge the level of I was in bad shape coming in. I had scrapes and like deep wounds and scrapes all over my body, and especially my left side, and my arm. Obviously, when I came in 2 weeks ago to start therapy, my arm was in a sling. But the transformation that I mean, all over the transformation has been amazing. But the condition that I was in when I came in, where my brain was, I was having to be driven everywhere. I felt like I had hot mud in my head. I could not think. I couldn't speak. I couldn't articulate. I couldn't. There was all the sensitivities to light and sound and things like that. But I could not even focus for 3 seconds. It felt like, and it was so frustrating. And I was in tears many times, because someone would ask me a question, and I would try to retrieve information from my brain, and I physically could not, and it was a really scary place to be, because here I am, I'm a single mom, and there was definite moments of panic, going, oh my goodness, is my brain like permanently damaged? Like, is it changed for good to where I'm not gonna have the ability to provide for my family? And that was a very real and tangible thought for me. And so I was like, this is serious business. I have got to get my brain functioning back, and get all of that capability and all of the, my ability to focus, my ability to just recall information, and just even have a conversation with someone, and to be able to sit at a computer and actually do work. All of that was gone, and I, at the time, couldn't see how that was going to improve. And the reason why is because my previous concussion from about 1.5 years ago had left me in such a condition to where there was residual. I just let it heal, and it took about 2.5, 3 months to where I started feeling a little bit better. But there have been things that were that never got back to normal, and I have felt like a different version of me this whole past year. So coming in and seeing the results in these past 2 weeks, I am already feeling like, oh my goodness, I'm not only getting back what I lost from this concussion, I am now feeling like I'm returning to what I was pre the other concussion. Like, I'm feeling like I'm me again, and everything is lining. I don't know the scientific terms for it, but it just feels like all the engines in every single cell of my body and my brain is just getting turned back on, and all the cogs are starting to turn again, and all the firings and everything's starting to go. So
that's so awesome. and you're doing a lot of the work. I mean, you have to come here, you have to do it. So what things in your other experiences with those other 2 concussions did you feel like you didn't really get back, and what's changed now?
Yeah, for sure, there was the ability to have a sustained focus, the ability to articulate words. I feel like I had all of a sudden become this stuttering mess of, and I usually, prior to that felt like I had a pretty good command of the language and could speak eloquently, and I felt like it just become this mess when I would talk. And of course, working on computers, I could sit down, but it would feel like ping pong's going off in my brain, and I would try to be sustained and work on something, but it was just this constant, almost felt like my eyes just wanting to this tangible focus that would just leave, and I'd redirect it back. And I've been dealing with that since that first concussion, January of 19, and I've already seen improvement in that just in the 2 weeks of doing therapies here. So, and I know there's still more progress to be had, but that just excites me that I can even see results to get me back to better levels from where I was even just 3 weeks ago from this wreck.
Yeah, that's so exciting.
Yeah.
How about sleep? How do you feel like your sleep was affected with the other concussions?
Okay, yeah, that's another, as I've really thought through all the different things that have been affected and have improved over these last couple of weeks, that's definitely something that has been a noticeable and a tangible improvement. Before that, I remember would just toss and turn all night long, and just a constant, and I just think that was normal. So I obviously went and got a new mattress. I tried different things, and those helped, but I still found myself just and sometimes I would sleep, but I would wake up in the morning and just feel like I'd just been hit by a truck. I would wake up feeling like, oh, I did not even sleep. Like there was I may have been laying there in bed, but I did not feel like my body was rested, and I felt like I was getting up the way that you feel when you're getting into bed. And it was so frustrating, and I just felt like and I'm usually a pretty energetic person, and I just felt like overall my energy levels just tanked. And no matter what sleep therapies with the different ones I would try, and the past 2 weeks after doing these therapies, I noticed the very first treatment that I had here, I went home and I slept. I don't even remember tossing or anything, and then I woke up and I went, oh wow, that was a great thing of sleep. And it wasn't until the next appointment that I think it was Christine that was sharing with me something about some of the therapies affecting sleep, and I went, oh well, that makes sense, because Monday night I slept wonderfully, and then of course since then I have noticed overall a consistency of a better sleep, where I wake up just feeling overall more energized and just ready to start the day, like not needing my alarm clock, just waking up and going, okay, I can get out of bed and I can go tackle the day. So that's been a great improvement to see.
I could listen to this all day because it's so exciting to see people improve. It's so rewarding to watch people's lives get better. So tell us just a little bit about the kinds of things that we have had you do that you feel like have resulted in these really positive improvements for you.
Yeah, I think the combination of all that you guys have here is fantastic. It's there's different things that target different areas in the brain, the body, but I think synergistically they all work together to jumpstart everything and promote healing all the way around. I tell my friends that I'm going to the brain spa, and I absolutely love my appointments here. They feel productive, and I feel it's not just a cosmetic and a temporary fix. I genuinely feel like I'm coming and I am leaving with my body, my mind, everything upping, like to stay at a consistently better level than with each visit. And that's a great feeling when you're doing something that's going to permanently last. The bike, feeling those different, I love listening to the science behind what I'm doing, and I love that you guys take the time to say, okay, here's what we're doing and here's why, and this is the effect and this is the research. I love that approach, because then I can be doing it and feeling the difference, and I can go home and see the healing, and I can be going, oh my goodness, I'm feeling all of it. But I love the way that you guys also teach the science behind it, and you show all the research, that it really connects the dots, and it makes it that much more meaningful to be able to connect those two things, that I can understand why it works, and I can also see, the difference. I can feel it working in me. But yeah, I call it the tanning bed, the red light therapy bed. There's a good mix of, the sauna, the different treatments for, the entrainment and the audiovisual, those things. I just feel like there's a good balance of, there's energizing things, there's invigorating, there's stimulating, there's also calming. There's a lot of different stimulants to either, wake up the cells, to bring them back down, to reground them. It's just a great combination and a good balance. And the way you guys have it all organized and the flow of it, I genuinely love coming here, and I'm secretly hoping that you guys will open up like monthly spa packages. I can keep coming back.
Oh, you could definitely do that. We love having you come. And you've talked about seeing the difference, and you've often pulled up your arm, I think because you were covered in scabs when I first talked to you about this. So tell us about what's happened healing-wise in terms of your skin. That's kind of a big deal.
It's a huge deal. I just wish that I could show like a before and after from just 2 weeks ago, because I came in, I looked beat up, and my energy was down here. I probably wasn't even making eye contact. I was probably mumbling, and I just felt like I was just swirling. But my body physically, I was in a sling, with broken scapula, and it's big thick bone. It's broken all the way through. It's a pretty painful break, and my doctor, my orthopedic doctor, is blown away at the results, because I'm going to show you something. This. Yeah. This is like because let me show you where I'm supposed to be at with my therapies. I'm supposed to be able to take my sling off, lean over a chair or a desk, and hang my arm down and do circles like that. So for me to be able to do this and to actually put a little bit of pressure, I'm supposed to take it easy, and still, I'm only 3 weeks from my injury, and so I still have 3 more weeks for the bone to actually heal. But the range of motion and all of that, which a lot of times, the slower the healing, the more mobility and the range of motion you lose, and with every week of restricted mobility, the more physical therapy it takes on the back end to get it back. So with going through these therapies that you have, this is huge, because it is it's reducing the healing time. So then that means, okay, my mobility is coming back faster, which then means there's less therapy time on the back end. And, who knows, maybe I may not even need to be doing physical therapy at the back end, because, it's all healing so beautifully and way faster. And so that's money saved on that end as well, not having to continue on that end. So yeah, my orthopedic is very, very impressed and pretty amazed. And anyone that sees me, knowing what I looked like 2 weeks ago, it just, I don't know if I still have, the scars that will heal, but if anyone saw me 2 weeks ago, in my sling and just the level of pain and everything I was in, I was in a lot of pain, and it was taking muscle relaxant and the heavy duty like ibuprofen type of a medicine to keep that pain down and to just relax the muscles enough to calm that pain. So that was just 2 weeks ago, and I that's why I'm so excited about this, and I love talking about it, because I want the world to know about these therapies that are open. My first concussion I got, there weren't any protocols like this, and I was in misery for 2 months. My personality felt different. I went, just felt depressed. There was a lot of that I look back and I'm like, oh my goodness, that could have been turned around so much faster. And then instead of just letting it heal on its own, which I do not believe that happens, going through all that and then having the results now, being intentional about the healing. I look back and I'm like, I would have been in a whole different place this whole last year, because I would have not only healed faster, but I would have actually healed, and I would have brought my level of that level of competency back up to what it was, rather than this new norm that I've been living with. So that's why I'm talking to all of my friends, all my adventure buddies that are out there getting concussions like I am, going, guys, you need to get in here, because the brain is definitely something not to mess around with. And especially when you look at links down the road with dementia and things like that, I want to have my brain working as well, with quality of life years, as I possibly can. And I really do feel like you guys here at A Mind for All Seasons, you guys are doing the things, and you guys are bringing the therapies, cutting edge technologies to really have brain health at the forefront, and to be really adding quality of life back to people's years.
Well, thank you so much, Jen. Thank you for watching. As you can tell, we are passionate about helping people of all ages take the steps necessary to protect their brains. So whether you're dealing with a concussion or traumatic brain injury, or you've had a stroke, or maybe you're dealing with depression, or you've got brain fog, or you have an Alzheimer's diagnosis, or you've got some mild cognitive impairment, or anything else related to the brain, there's so much that we can do to help you take steps forward and heal. And as you can see, the body is a system, and you can't do the right things for the brain without having some benefits in other parts of the body. It's not just your head that's healing here. Your arms are doing better, your bones are healing differently. It's exciting to see what can happen. And if you'd like to learn more and be a part of it, we invite you to call us at 208-378-2860, or visit us at amindforallseasons.com. Thanks again for watching.